Welcome to the Musings of Jessica Marie. Music truly makes my world go around. I never get tired of listening to my favorite songs or building the perfect playlists for every occasion. Most of my listening statistics include R&B, hip-hop, rap, and soul, and has evolved over time as I've gotten older. Join me as we shine a historical spotlight on Jill Scott, one of my all-time favorite artists who has stamped herself as a legend in Black culture. Jill is a soulful crooner with legendary hits like Golden, A Long Walk, Crown Royal, and many others that have punctuated her almost 26-year career. She's also dabbled in acting and has appeared in noteworthy titles like Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married, Law and Order, and most recently, Abbott Elementary. Jill was born on April 4th, 1972 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She was an only child raised by her mom, Joyce Scott, and her grandmom. She grew up as a Jehovah's Witness and attended Temple University in hopes of becoming a high school English teacher, but dropped out after 3 years. Deciding to instead follow her dreams, she began her performing career as a spoken word artist in 2000. She was eventually discovered by Questlove of The Roots and was invited to collaborate on their song You Got Me, released that same year. She officially debuted as an artist during a Roots live show and worked to get better by collaborating with fellow artists and touring Canada in the production of the Broadway musical Rent. She was the very first artist signed to Steve McKeever's Hidden Beach Records label, and her debut album, Who is Jill Scott? Words and Sounds Volume 1, was released on July 18th, 2000. This is hands down one of my favorite albums, and it sounds good even 26 years later. I like 11 out of the 18 tracks, and the album was certified double platinum. As a follow-up, she released my second favorite album, Experience Jill Scott 826, on November 20th, 2001. I remember just how hype I was when I realized it was a live album because I felt like I was getting the concert experience right from the comfort of my home. There's just something about live performances that speak to my soul. I've memorized the ad-libs and parts of her speaking to the crowd and can recite them almost perfectly too. She took a few years to release another album but continued performing and writing her poetry. A compilation book called The Moments, the Minutes, the Hours was published in April 2005. Her second full-length album, Beautifully Human Words and Sounds Volume 2, was released a few years later on August 31st, 2004. It sold 193,000 copies within the first week and featured my all-time favorite song of hers, Golden, with honorable mentions for Cross My Mind and Not Like Crazy. It was her first #1 album, and Golden was featured in iconic pop culture titles, including 2005's Beauty Shop, 2009's Obsessed, and Grand Theft Auto 4. On September 25th, 2007, Jill released her third album titled The Real Thing, Words and Sounds Volume 3. It was certified gold and featured Crown Royal, My Love, Wanna Be Loved, Insomnia, Whenever You're Around, and All I that are in consistent rotation for me. In 2008, she released her second live album, Live in Paris, which included only 8 songs but also went gold. In 2010, Jill was sued by Hidden Beach Records for leaving halfway through her 6-album contract. She countersued before signing a new deal with Warner Brothers in early 2011 that gave her direct control over her marketing and promotions and allowed her to release music under her Blues Babe Records imprint. Her fourth album, The Light of the Sun, was released on June 21st, 2011, and was her first #1 debut on the US Billboard 200 chart. It included the fan favorite tracks So in Love featuring Anthony Hamilton and So Gone, What My Mind Says featuring Paul Wall. Once her contract with Warner Brothers was up, she signed with Atlantic Records and released her 5th album called Woman on July 24th, 2015. It hit #1 on the charts and sold 58,000 copies in the first week. Her sixth album, To Whom This May Concern, is expected to be released on February 13th, 2026. She won a Grammy Award in 2005 for Best Urban Alternative R&B Performance for Cross My Mind, in 2007 for Best Traditional R&B Vocal Performance for God Bless the Child, and in 2008 for Best Urban Alternative Performance for her feature on Lupe Fiasco's single, Daydreaming. She also won 4 NAACP Image Awards in 2011 for Outstanding Female Artist, Outstanding Music Video, Outstanding Song, and Outstanding Album. Jill has been married and divorced twice. She married Lizelle Williams in 2001 after dating for 7 years and even wrote He Loves Me, Lizelle in E flat about him. They were together for 6 years before divorcing in 2007. She quickly moved on and married Lil Jon Roberts in 2008. The couple had their son, Jet Roberts, in 2009 and divorced later that year. With a heart focused on giving back, she created the Blues Babe Foundation in 2003 to help young minority students residing in Philadelphia, Camden, and the greater Delaware Valley pay for college expenses. Jill donated $100,000 to get it started, and the program offers financial assistance to students ages 16 to 21. It is named after her grandmother, helping her love to live on eternally. Jill Scott is a neo-soul legend and has continued to show versatility with her songwriting, poetry, and acting skills. If you're a diehard fan like me or new to her material, I have a great playlist that'll showcase her amazing talent. It's crazy that the pandemic in 2020 literally stopped me from seeing her in concert, but hopefully I'll get to check the experience off my bucket list one day. If you enjoyed this musing, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, comment, share, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Signed, Jessica Marie.